People, deluded, I'm back again. Obviously form and you know, collective team form and players form, it can affect people's decision making, and obviously everybody's a genius in hindsight and whatnot. For what it's worth, I think we should have still sacked I'm about to say Mohamed El Nene because I did a video on him. Not sack him, he's been alright. I think we was right to sack Unai Emery, but seeing how he's doing at Villarreal, I think they're second or third in their table. You can't help but imagine, you know, in comparison to our fortunes, just to play devil's advocate, should we have kept him? Like I said, I don't think we should have. I know he only missed out before he got sacked, the season before, he missed out on top 4 by a point. We finished 5th and he got a final. Yeah, if you look at that, that's fantastic. But, you know, the way of playing wasn't there. The system wasn't there. I don't think he had the players on side. He didn't reflect the Arsenal values. He changed way too much, in my opinion. And yeah, you can say you missed out by a point. But as poor as I think those players were in the last running towards the end of the season, Emery messed it up. Like, you can't be going into big games against Crystal Palace where we need to get 3 points. El Nene's barely playing. You're throwing El Nene in, you're throwing Jenkinson in, you're throwing Mavropanos in. I think there was a game against Everton, either home or away, for no reason. He changed the pivot and went with El Nene and Guendouzi, who, if I remember rightly, at the time, they didn't play together, you know, and we're looking Kelam. So I still think Emery should have went, especially the way we threw away them points and whatnot. But you can't help but look at it and say, you know what, he's doing his thing at Villarreal, you know. They've got Real Madrid, I believe, after the international break. He's been doing his thing, you know. You look at Santi Cazorla, I think he scored last night as well. Santi Cazorla's been up there for goals and assists in whatever league in the country he's in at the moment, people. So they're doing well. And it also made me think as well, should we have sold Mkhitaryan or got Mkhitaryan gone? Again, I feel letting Mkhitaryan go was the right thing. You know, it wasn't it, you know, but he done well last season at Roma and he's done well now. And you look at his statistics, people, forgive me if I'm wrong, I think he's got 7 appearances, 3 goals, 4 assists, so 7 in 7. It does look really sexy and really attractive, especially when our attackers are struggling. Like I said, I think El Nene, man keeps saying El Nene, Mkhitaryan and Unai Emery should have went, in the same way I feel at the time it was right to let Santi Cazorla leave. But hindsight's a wonderful thing, really. I'm not saying we should even, I actually still feel the same way. I'm just playing devil's advocate for the point of this vid. And when I look at it, yeah, I feel in isolation it was right to get rid of Mkhitaryan. You know, we cancelled his contract, he went off to do his thing, we freed up the wages. But to a degree, and again, I don't even think Mkhitaryan, the way he's playing in Rome right now, he would have been doing it in England. I think he's found a good thing for him at Roma. He's got the manager's confidence, he's clearly happy with the team and all of those things. Take Lacazette with you in the next window is cool. But when I look at it, it's like, alright, cool. Mkhitaryan needed to go. I think we needed him to go. He wasn't playing well. The age he was at, the fact he needed a new contract soon, it's a myth sort of thing. And it wouldn't make sense to renew it. So I support the decision for him to go. And again, you know, I don't want to draw conclusions on Willan, but I look at Willan, who, you know, Mkhitaryan's 31, Willan's 32, more or less same age. He signed a 3-year deal, and Willan's probably on big P's. Willan's got 2 assists in 10 games. Did it make much sense to free up the wages there if you're going to go and do this? Now, Willan clearly is more of an out-and-out winger per se than Mkhitaryan. I know Mkhitaryan can do a winger role, but I call him a wide playmaker. I'm pretty sure if you asked Mkhitaryan, or if any of you was a coach, you know, and you had it in an ideal way, I'm sure you'd play Mkhitaryan in a 10 or a free creative central role, which he was always getting into. So I'm just looking at it as like, did it make much sense? Because you've taken 1 step forward and 2 steps back with freeing up wages, and then almost directly handed it to another pensioner, really, in footballing terms. So hindsight's a wonderful thing, but when you just see how Emery's playing, how Mkhitaryan's doing, what Emery's doing and Mkhitaryan's playing, it shows hindsight's a wonderful thing, man. You know, in hindsight, the only players I wish stayed was Benassi and Gnabry up top. There was 2 cake. They would have caked the team off if we sold them, people. We'd have made so much peas. Josh De Silva at Brentford. You know, hindsight's a wonderful thing. But I just thought about it, especially with Willian's contract and the way Willan is playing. It doesn't make much sense to have brought in Willan, and not kept Mkhitaryan. You know, neither player should be at the club, really and truly. In the same way, I still believe Emery shouldn't be here, but you've got to give credit, and especially more so with Arsenal's fortunes. Like, if we weren't in this misfortune and them and they weren't doing well, you know, you wouldn't have to look at it. But it's an interesting one depending on how you look at it. Would I have rather kept Mkhitaryan or Unai Emery? Obviously Mkhitaryan. I would have rather kept Santi, but I felt Santi should have went at the time, away from emotion, you know. know, in hindsight, that's probably the one we probably should have kept, because a half-fit a Santi with one leg, you know, a Santi with an infected leg is better than half of these midfielders at our club, really and truly. I've told you lot before, I'm only 100% convinced in Thomas Partey. Shout out El Nene, I think Xhaka has his moments. I like Ceballos, you know, I'm a fan of Joe Willock, but the only man I'm really convinced within that middle of the park over a 38-game period would be Thomas Partey. And I guess the next step would be to bring somebody in. I would like to see Torreira and Guendouzi back, in addition to bringing in another creative man. But you can't have you can't have everything you want. So it is what it is in that regards. On that note, though, I've got nothing more to add, so I'm not going to bore you lot. That's all I wanted to say, and just play devil's advocate. People, DG, I'm out.